Any volunteers to share first?
Good morning. I am a Buddhist, and this is the first time ever that I do come to a retreat like this. I must say it is a life-changing event for me. It is a life-changing event for me, and I like to express my gratitude to the Chuanyan Monastery to provide the opportunity for people like me to learn. Thank to the venerables and to the staff to take care of us. And and coming here, listen to the questions to the Dharma friends, have learned a lot of things. Some of the questions is actually the thing that's in my mind. But most importantly, I learned so much from Bhante, from the very beginning to the very last day. So many things have learned, but I like to point out two things that I think that it will stick with me for a long while. The first is hello. Let me rephrase my words here. I have learned so many things from the very beginning to the last day. But the most important things that I think I learned is that know how to return to the object, to the primary object. I think that is the most important thing I learned. And the second important thing I learned is it will take some effort. Be diligent. And from the beginning to the last day, I feel that I make some progress. I like to share a little bit here. The first day, for a beginner like me, sitting for 1 hour is actually very hard. But throughout the class, throughout the retreat, the last day, I'm happy to report that the sitting is not as difficult as the beginning. So that is improvement. Coming here, I learned so many things. But living here, I feel that I'm more confident than when I come. I'm confident that I can apply what I've learned here and transform my daily activities into meditation moments. And I am confident that I will make progress, and I am confident that one day I will be able to come back and report to Bhante what do we see beyond the curve. Amitabha.
Good morning. Good morning, everyone. My name is Mark. I'm originally from the New York City area. And there I sat with Dharma punks and against the stream throughout the country. The teachings that our teachers gave us are actually all those teachings derived from the same source as the Theravadan tradition that was so beautifully and movingly expressed for the past week. So I thank Bhante. I thank Bhante. I also would like to make sure that I don't forget to thank the beautiful people in the kitchen for feeding and taking care of us, the venerable nuns and bhikkhu, and of course, Bhante Bodhi. I moved to Beacon, New York, which is a little town not too far from here, in February. And in April, I learned that the Venerable Bhante Bodhi lived not even 20 miles from where I laid my head. Pioneers like he are actually responsible for allowing the Pali Canon to be disseminated to those who taught me here in the United States, Americans who traveled abroad and brought back the teachings. It's my first time to this monastery. It's a splendid place beyond imagining. I think I'm like a 7-year-old child at Christmas, not knowing what next present to open. So I thank, again, the residents, those whose lives we've interfered or disturbed while being here, and their routines, the volunteers. It's truly a gem. The library is going to probably be my third home after the Buddha Hall. And certainly will take advantage of the classes and every offering that is here. Had I discovered this in the 1980s, I wouldn't have had such a poor self-education in what few books I could lay my hands on. And I think that speaks to a lot of Americans who also tried hard to learn but failed, not because they didn't try. So I hope to return the gift, the best gift, with my sweat equity as a volunteer. And I will be doing that as soon as possible here. So, moving to the gratitude of the teachers, the gift of the Dhamma is amazing, that it can be given by people who dedicate themselves for very many years as a full-time vocation and avocation. To give that gift is amazing. And I just need to quote, as it turns out, from a book that was translated by someone present. The gift of the Dhamma surpasses all gifts. The taste of the Dhamma surpasses all tastes. Delight in the Dhamma surpasses all delights. The destruction of craving surpasses all suffering. So aside from my wish to give back to this wonderful place as a volunteer, and I've also offered what is known in Pali, when you feel gratitude, dana, which is because of the embarrassment of riches of this beautiful monastery, raindrops don't turn into $100 bills. So our gracious hosts wouldn't need dana after all the rain we've seen for the past few days, but I wanted to make mention of this as a member of the Sangha, that this is one of the top talks I've ever been graced with receiving and attending in the many years I've been trying to follow Theravadan tradition and Vipassana. So generosity dana allows this place and Bhante Dhammajiva to give us the greatest of all gifts. Neither the monastery staff nor obviously any of the bhikkhus or Bhante would ever ask or make this pitch, but I'm a Dharma punk from New York and I don't have that issue. So I apologize if that sounds crass, but they would never ask, nor praise, nor disparage anything given or not given. The fact is that dana keeps the lights on, in this very large complex. And, my second home here, I like lights, and allows Bhante to avoid walking 14,000 kilometers, as the falcon flies, chasing the quail, and also over 2 bodies of water. By the way, Google Maps exploded when I tried to find directions from Sri Lanka to here. But in all seriousness, and actually with all seriousness aside, and putting on my lawyer hat, the donations that might be given to allow the continuation of these programs is tax deductible. And according to my accountant, I'm not sure if it is actually tax deductible if given to Bhante, but both convert into huge karmic bitcoins, no matter how much or how little or not at all you can give for the greatest gift of all, which is the Dhamma. May all sentient beings find their way through life and end of suffering. Thank you.
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Do we have to go in order? Can I talk? Okay, so I was going to think a little bit about what I was saying, but I have been on retreats before since around 2010. I've been on a couple of longer ones, but then I got a little bit busy with school, and this is the first extended retreat that I've been on in a while. Overall, I had a wonderful experience. As you can see, I'm still in a little bit of the meditation. I think a lot of my practice from previously, even though I haven't been meditating for a while, sort of came up again at this time. And then I remember talking to one of the meditators before the retreat. It's sort of like learning a bicycle, like learning how to ride a bicycle. Once you develop the ability to ride, even at a later date, if you haven't ridden a bicycle in a while, you'll start to pick it up again. I agree that coming back to the breath was a very, very simple but important lesson that I learned. A lot of the Q&A question and answer that I received was also very, very helpful. One particular advice was between coming back to the breath versus staying with an object that comes to mind. The Venerable One shared the analogy of driving a car. You want to keep your eyes on the road, but if there are other distractions or objects, you still want to be aware of it so that you don't get, so you can sort of proceed carefully. The facilities were great, the staff was very helpful, the volunteers in the kitchen, and obviously the bhikkhus and the Venerable One who flew all the way from Sri Lanka. Overall, I feel very happy, just to keep it very simple. And I had a very, very happy experience. Some ups and downs, which are to be expected, but generally I did also feel a sense of progress and a sense of feeling happier than I was previously. So thank you. Thank you all.
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Hello. Thank you for the day. Last few days, you gave us the discourse and answer a lot of questions and help us a lot to understand more about the meditation, how to improve the meditation. Just like before, when I do the meditation, I maybe only sit for 20 minutes or less. But as of right now, I can sit on the, do the sitting meditation for more than almost hours. So from my experience, I feel that I get the improvement on the meditation, and thank you very much for that. And also I thank you for the Zhongying Monastery and for the volunteer in the kitchen and volunteer help us to, because there's a lot of visitor on the weekend, and the volunteer try to keep away the visitor from us so we can more concentrate on sitting meditation. So thank you very much. Okay, thank you.
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Thank you very much, Bhante. This retreat has been very important for me. I have been suffering from certain emotional and mental turmoil. To put it quite frankly, I didn't realize how crazy I was until I came here and sat for some period of time, and to really realize, that I had been sitting for a long time, but this retreat has provided me the opportunity to really come to mindfulness as a beginner again, and that has been invaluable, and it's really galvanized me in realizing that this is the answer to, I think, most of my problems, and realizing how much trouble is. It just made me realize how much trouble in my life is due to just not being mindful, and so I'm very grateful for that. And I'm grateful to Bhante. I'm grateful for the other Bhante, to the venerable sisters and the volunteers and everyone that's made this possible. Also, I'm very grateful to Chuanyen Monastery for offering this program to someone like me who is very poor and wouldn't have the opportunity to do anything like this if this monastery wasn't here to offer help. So thank you very much.
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Amitofo. I consider it a miracle that I'm here. I didn't even know about the retreat until the night or the day before. I just happened to text Donna, who's sitting 2 seats in front of me, to just check how she was doing. And I asked her if she was in New York City or in the Catskills, because I was in the Catskills. I've been at a Hindu ashram doing cultivation for the several last months. And she just told me she was in the Catskills. And the next day she was going to Chuanyen Monastery to attend the 7-day silent retreat. And it was like, there's a silent retreat. And then I quickly went on the site and I saw that you were from Sri Lanka. And for years people have been telling me, Jill, you need to go to Sri Lanka. You need to go to Sri Lanka. And I just kept saying to myself, I don't know anybody in Sri Lanka. I was afraid to go to Sri Lanka. So when I read your bio, Bhante, and I've been looking for like a Buddhist teacher, because I kind of gave up last year. I had a bad experience, and I don't know, I just kind of became a little depressed. So, again, finding that you were from Sri Lanka and you seem qualified like a good Buddhist teacher, I just said, maybe let's give it a try. So I asked Donna, can you come and pick me up? Because I gave up driving. And she said, sure. And then I signed up. The director of my monastery was not happy when I told him I was coming here. He felt that I was not committed to my practice, and he was very upset that I was not contributing to that monastery. And it was very, very weird to see politics or like the business aspect in a spiritual sense, at least for me. You know, for the last couple of years, I've been battling, should I be a monastic or should I be a householder? And every time I go back, as I would call it, into the real world, something sucks me back in. Because I love to pray, I love to do rituals. And thank you, you answered a lot of questions. You said kind of cultivate to the point where you become indifferent and then you will know what to do. And I feel that I'm not there yet, but that I will get there. And it was weird because I gave up driving, but as I was walking silently, there were these battles going on in my mind, like family, monkhood, family, monkhood. And as I walked around the Chuanik monastery, I was like, should I drive again? And there were all these nice cars parked. And I said, ooh, which kind of car? If I decide to go on the path of the family member, I can have a car again and drive. And then I was like, which car would I get? And I had nice models in front of me, and I wasn't supposed to look around. I was supposed to be mindful. But I saw my mind was jumping this option, that option, this option, that option, and I was in war. And somehow when I prayed to the Buddhas and the Bodhisattvas, I calmed down and I slept very well. Like I wasn't in battle at night. So I knew whatever we were doing here was working. And I thank you.
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Thank you for the opportunity to practice. This is my first time doing meditation and to learn about meditation and mindfulness. And I wasn't prepared for the experience that I learned, and when I told people that I was coming to the retreat, they thought I was coming to a vacation. And it is a vacation for me, and away from work and away from the busy life. And this is different, and I really cherish this opportunity. Thank you.
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
My name is Jayanta Fernando. I came from Sri Lanka, 1972. And when I was a little girl, I used to go to the Vajrarama and learn the Dhamma from the Narada Thera, Panyasiha Theras, or the monks. But once I left Sri Lanka, I did not have the opportunity to go for the temples, Buddhist monastery, something like that. I was really involved with my children. So now I finished with my duties with my children. They're grown up and living in the good life. So now I became independent. So I have all my time for myself to do what I really want to do. When I was a little girl, I really want to help the local people, poor people. So now I have opportunity in the Bergen County in New Jersey. I'm a volunteering all over, doing things, except I do not have an opportunity to go to the Buddhist temple because it's so far away from my place. So this is the first time I came for the retreat. I really did enjoy, but discipline-wise, this is the first time I noticed that we shouldn't be talking to anyone, even though some Sri Lankan wanna come and ask the question. You being polite to them. You gave a few words. Now I realize that can't be doing that. So I accept that if I did a little talking, that not too much, but it's because of politeness. So I learned a lot of things about the meditation. I have mindful. That's how I became so powerful in mentally because of my training from Sri Lanka to here. Now I'm applying more to mindfulness and the meditation. Meditation wasn't given to me. When you are small, you don't want to stay in one place. Once you're married, you have to take care of the family. So now you are free from all the heavy stuff. So now you can concentrate as you have a mind to discipline. So I will have a more benefit from listening to the Dhamma talk from the priest from Sri Lanka. So I will apply my meditation every morning in the evening and walking in the park, meditate walking, and keep myself improving to better life. Thank you for the Bhikkhu Thera to giving us opportunity, and also our Sri Lanka priest who came to teach us for the mindfulness. So we applied and make it a better place to live, and also I will teach my lesson to my friends whom I discuss with the Buddhist philosophy. Sometimes they do ask, what religion are you from? I said, I'm a Buddhist, I believe in Buddha's teaching. And so they started asking me all kind of, so I said, small thing, just respect yourself, beat yourself, nobody else help you other than yourself, always mindful. So I will take this opportunity and we'll be back again and enjoy the meditation. Thank you.
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Teruvan Saranai Swaminansa. I came here to do meditation under the guidance of Reverend here, and I have been practicing meditation for the last about 3 or 4 years, and I learned a lot this time also. This about 4 or 5 retreats I have done so far, and thank you everybody.
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Good morning. My name is Maria, and first and foremost, I would like to thank the Venerable Philosopher and the nuns and the monks and Chongyan Monastery for ushering us and welcoming us for this incredible experience. And thank you, Bhante, for all these new things, new lessons for me. I'm a devout Catholic, so maybe all the questions about Catholic was mine. My husband and my son are practicing Buddhists. My husband had been Buddhist all his life. Last year, my son came here to do meditation with you, and he came home and brought one gin and cleaned his room, changed the floor, painted it, and made it as his meditation, for a meditation for all of us. So my husband and son meditates all the time, but I wasn't. So my son insisted that I should come here and do the meditation with you. And I really thank you for these lessons, because as a healthcare provider, I see a lot of death and dying, and I also a lot of compassion in my work, and it feels that with the help of mindfulness and meditation, I could do my work a lot better. And I also appreciate the lesson that you have given yesterday about loving your body. It's our birthright to take care of it, eat well, and do mindfulness. So thank you very much.
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Anoja. I came from Chicago. This is my second retreat with Venerable Dhammajiva. I'm very grateful to Bhante for tirelessly teaching us Dhamma. And I go from here with confidence in my heart that I can make the effort and make progress. I'm also very grateful to Chuanyan Monastery for having this program. Apart from the beautiful surroundings, this monastery has a special place for me because of Bhikkhu Bodhi, with his very important connections to Sri Lanka. And I'm also grateful to the nuns and the volunteers who looked after us and worked so that we could practice. And if I have knowingly or unknowingly hurt anyone's feelings by word or deed, I ask for forgiveness.
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
My name is Amy. I live in New Jersey. This is a life-changing experience for me. It's not what I expected, but it's beyond I ever hoped for. It will completely change the way I do meditation from now on. So I would not sit, I would not do meditation expecting to see light. I would not sit, expect to develop any insight. I would not sit to expect to have any experience. I certainly understand the Japanese Zen master Dogen said, the joy of just sitting for the past few days is the first time I sit with such a joy, no expectation of all, and just sitting. So, my deep gratitude to Bande. And when you said to be mindful, you need to have it like a child learning a language. I think I'm sitting like a child learning a language. I'm learning a language of life. I have no expectation on myself, but just keep going. I'm not checking on my progress. I just want to enjoy the sitting. Thank you.
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
My name is Ursula and I'm from Germany. I'm practicing for 14 years now, but only the last 5 years in the Theravada tradition. So my English is not so good, sorry. Luckily I met Bhante Dhammajiva, and since then I'm trying to take any chance to follow his advices, and it really helped me a lot. So thank you very much, and I want to thank just everybody else here, the staff and the monastery and all of them. Thank you.
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Avsarai Swami Hansa. I am Shamali. I live in Austin, Texas. I've started meditating 3 years ago after watching the Venerable Bhikkhu Bodhi meditate in the Boudreaux Memorial Library on my first visit to the Shuangyang Monastery in 2015. I am tremendously honored to be in this room in the company of my fellow meditators, to have received meditation instruction from an esteemed master such as yourself, Venerable Bhante. It is a privilege I could only have dreamed of. Thank you to the Shuangyang. Thank you to the Shuangyang Monastery, its dedicated staff and venerable nuns for making this dream possible. This has been by far the most deeply impactful and formative experience of my life.
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
So this is the first time I'm speaking in public. Like, I have been to Venerable Dhammajiva's 6 retreats so far, but every time I try not to talk because I can escape, because I think I'm very nervous talking. But I'm so happy to be in the presence of Venerable Dhammajiva one more year to do the retreat, and also to see Bhikkhu Bodhi, Venerable Bhikkhu Bodhi for the first time, and the other monks. And I want to thank the nuns, the bhikkhunis and the sisters for giving us all the guidance. And I learned a lot, and also I learned to be disciplined. I think there was more discipline here, so I'm really learned how to follow the instructions. And also all the volunteers and the staff and the cafeteria where the food is provided is so wonderful to have everything taken care of. And also as regarding the mindfulness, I have been doing it every year, and it's always like, I didn't get what I wanted. So it's always like disappointment. But if there's one thing I can share with all my fellow yogis, it's a lot of patience. Like, it's not something that's just going to come to you. Like mindfulness, this year I realized it's just focusing on one thing. Like the other fellow yogi said, like shouldn't be any expectation. And for me, it feel like just be in the present moment. And then the mindfulness also, I feel like maybe it is something beyond I understand. All I have to do is just pay attention to my breath and have a lot of patience. And it's just going to come, whenever, and not to have any expectations. So I think that's what I got this year in my practice. So thank you very much. And I'm also apologize if in my words or my action, if I did anything wrong. I truly apologize. Buddha Saranai.
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
My name is Suki Park, and I'm from New Jersey. This is my third retreat with the Venerable Dhammajiva. First year when I came, I heard such a detailed instruction, and I had to come next year. And then second time again, the describing the beginning, middle, and end part where I had never been yet, but I could kind of see so clearly where I had to go. And so I wanted to learn more and stay with Venerable Dhammajiva, and so I had to come this year again. I had so much work at home, like last whole month. Physically, mentally, I had just a lot to take care. But coming here for retreat, just coming here itself really was like taking a good shower, and I feel so good being here. And again, this time I discovered the instruction was so detailed, very clear. Again, the place where I have to go, I haven't been yet, but I know the instruction was there. So I appreciate it very much. The meditation-wise, I've been meditating about 20 years with great teachers, and each teacher taught me this wonderful, wonderful guide. Several years ago, when I was younger, I thought I had such a clear moment, such a really great moment of seeing things more clearly. And now, this time, it's like repeating. I don't really get those kind of shining moment, but I'm just there trying to be here, knowing that this is where I should go. And I thought about, I'm getting old, and I'm over 70. Perhaps it has a lot to do with actually physical condition. So I want to say to young people, when you're young, put all your strength and do more work. I try to be very clear in my mind, but I see there is a change coming physically. So this time it wasn't that easy. It wasn't really accommodations and stuff. There was a little change that I felt. So my experience here is, again, such a wonderful teacher made my goal more clear. And I know just what I have to do. I will just sharpen my mindfulness again and again. That's all I can do. Thank you very much.
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Thiruvang Sarnai, dear Bhante and dear sisters and brothers. My name is Vishaka Smith. I'm originally from Sri Lanka and I live in Seattle, Washington. And I have done several retreats with Venerable Dhammajiva and other teachers, various lengths of time, the retreats. But this retreat was, even though it's only 7 days, it gave me really different aspect of my meditation that I have not explored. That as Venerable Dhammajiva said, on the day 4, 5, 6, it was gems and jewels and diamonds coming out of his mouth, the Dharma of Buddha's teaching. I felt like they are coming, and it's a matter of applying, especially the area that gave more light for me was that unknown areas of when we are not in the gross area of day-to-day life, pleasure seeking, and when we can pay attention to be okay with more of the neutral feelings, and pay attention to suspension of desire to have craving and running after craving and wanting to hate the things that we don't like. And that was really challenging and amazing. And I really, it was a delight for me to hear that, and even to go a little further on that and see more of the cessation of this rough and craving and desire-driven world of mine. So thank you very much, Bhante, for coming all the way from Sri Lanka. You were traveling all around, and I appreciate Vince, Uncle Vince. And also, it was really amazing to come here to see Bhikkhu Bodhi for the first time, and I really thank all my sisters and brothers who practice with me. Because of you, we were able to have this retreat, and you did many tasks, even though you want to have peace of mind and don't do anything and have pleasure. We all like to do that, but we all worked together and made progress, and I really appreciate this monastery, which provided free of charge Buddha's teaching. 2,600 years ago, Buddha gave this teaching for our peace of mind, and it's still available today, and it's facilitated by this monastery. I greatly appreciate that through these monks and nuns, and they are doing and volunteers. I greatly appreciate, and I offer all my merits to you all. And also, I apologize if I did anything physically, mentally, verbally that hurt your practice or make you uncomfortable. Thank you.
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Hi, my name is Donna, and I am most grateful to be here. I'm grateful to Bhante Dhammajiva for traveling here and teaching us. It is most beneficial. To give a little bit of my personal story, I was introduced to meditation and the path in 2012, which is, I would say, a short time, 6 years, but it feels like a million, maybe 10 million. And yet, at the same time, it feels like a drop in the ocean. I was introduced to meditation in a most unusual way, and I am most grateful for that, because the benefit is incomprehensible. It's beyond words, actually. Most recently, I'm experiencing those benefits because I'm caring for someone very special to me, my father, who is gravely ill. And I can say smilingly that being mindful helps. It is good in the beginning, it is good in the middle, and it is good in the end.
Thank you.
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
I just wanted to add a couple more things that I remembered. I mentioned that I had done a few extended retreats in 2010 for maybe a few years. I wanted to add that I kind of stopped to do a lot of theoretical study of Buddhism, which I think was very helpful. So a lot of the questions on theory was probably from me. If you think the questions that I gave Dhammajiva were bad, Venerable Bhikkhu Bodhi, I have sort of hounded him with questions for several years. He's been very, very, very helpful. I wanted to point that out. A lot of the work that Bhikkhu Bodhi has done has been very helpful. And this is the first retreat, extended retreat, that I've done for a while. I think this is the first retreat in which a lot of my study of Buddhism and prior meditation practice sort of all came together, which I feel like provided a momentum that in 7 days I felt like I progressed in a way that I hope others can as well. Bhikkhu Bodhi and Venerable Dhammajiva are both sitting here, so part of me feels like if people were to read the work that Venerable Bhikkhu Bodhi has done and use the instructions that Venerable Dhammajiva has provided, I feel like it could be very, very helpful, as it has been for me. And again, I'd like to thank the Chuangyan Monastery for providing the facilities and the help and the staff to make this opportunity possible for us. Thank you.
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Just to piggyback on that, every book that was mentioned, whether it's Dipama, by the way, there are 3 copies in the circulating lending library here. I became a member while I was here. As well as the wisdom publications that have been translated by Bhante Bodhi at a discount are also available for sale there at the library. And although it's only open on Saturdays and Sundays, I'm going to plague that place. It has resources beyond compare, including something I was surprised to see for children. A lot of resources for children. And I know that it's a subject near and dear to Bhante Dhammajiva's heart. And I will be tapping into that to see if there's any way possible to bring some of that back, home, so to speak, to a very open, progressive community in Beacon, which doesn't actually have this resource on its map, believe it or not. So I again want to thank the monastery and the association for its foresight and its pioneering spirit in providing all these programs. And I also would like to express something that I wrote down and didn't say. If anything I have said or done in deed, action, or inaction, especially my snoring, has harmed the practice of anyone, it is not my intention to have done so. Thank you.
Okay, thank you everyone. Had a wonderful experience sharing, and thank you, Ban.